Hi guys, this is Miss Fullington. Hi Miss L's class. I am not going to be here today because I'm at a doctor's appointment. So I'll be sharing with you what you're going to be doing for social studies today for Wednesday, February 10th. And so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be learning about Misty Copeland. And so this week is still Black History Month. So what we're going to do is first listen to Misty Copeland read her book, Bunheads, and then two, read about Misty Copeland and answer their comprehension questions. So we're going to go ahead and watch the video.
Hi, I'm Misty Copeland. Welcome to PBS Kids Read Along. Today, I'm really thrilled to share with you a new book of mine called Bunheads, and it is illustrated by Sator Fiagibe. This story is based on my experience of coming into the ballet world as a young girl and the friendships that I made along the way, and how important it is to be surrounded by people that are going to motivate you and guide you and inspire you and just be along on that journey just the same as you are. So here we go. When Miss Bradley announced they'd be performing Ballet Coppelia for the recital, everyone in Misty's class shouted excitedly and gathered around to hear their teacher tell the story of Coppelia. Misty didn't know what Coppelia meant, and she was too shy to ask, especially since it was her first ballet class ever. So Misty took a spot on the floor, and before she knew it, she was completely entranced as Miss Bradley told the story. Once upon a time, an odd old toy maker made a beautiful life-size doll named Coppelia to cure his lonely heart. The doll was so pretty and looked so real that a boy named Franz fell in love with Coppelia at first sight, even though he already told Swanhilda he would marry her. Swanhilda was furious when she caught Franz blowing kisses to Coppelia, but Franz ignored her anger. Later, Franz snuck into the toymaker's house to see Coppelia, but the toymaker caught him. When the toymaker realized that Franz was in love with his doll, he had an awful idea. Maybe he could use Franz's love to turn Coppelia into a real girl. Lucky for Franz, Swanhilda had also snuck into the toymaker's house out of curiosity, and she was still hidden inside. She overheard the toymaker's evil plan and decided to dress like Coppelia to confuse the old man. Once the toymaker believed that his doll had finally come to life, Franz escaped. After that, Franz realized what a fool he'd been, and he married Swanhilda. The two lived happily ever after. Misty loved how Swanhilda never lost sight of her goal or her real love. She knew she wanted to be Swanhilda. In just a few days, we will decide what roles you will dance in the performance, Miss Bradley said. Now, let's practice. First, there was a développé tendu. Front with one leg lifted forward, the pointed foot gently touching the floor. Next was the rond de jambe tendu front, with the leg stretched straight out to the front, making big circles round and round in the air with the toes. Then it got a bit harder with the pas de bourrée, moving from side to side as one foot crossed over the other. They had such fun with the soutenu as the young dancers twirled and spun in unison. Finally, the lesson ended with simultaneous pas de bourrée again and again. Misty picked up the steps easily, following only a half second behind the rest of the class. Have you ever danced Coppelia? Miss Bradley asked. Misty shook her head nervously, replying, I've never taken ballet before. Well, you're very good, Miss Bradley said. Come. She called to Misty and Kat, a younger girl who was full of energy. You two, up front. Misty could feel her heart pounding. Miss Bradley asked Kat to show Misty the dance of Coppelia. Coppelia sits in a chair on the balcony of the toymaker's house throughout the first act of the ballet. Kat held her arms in first position, then lifted her arms and turned her head like a robot. Up performed the moves beautifully. When it was Misty's turn, she imitated Cat from memory. You are both very gifted, Miss Bradley said. As soon as Misty got home, everything about the new class and the Coppelia fairy tale tumbled out of her. I'm proud of you, Mommy said. Misty was so excited she could hardly sleep. She lay in bed thinking about the doll coming to life. Misty said her name aloud. Coppelia. It felt magical and full of mystery. The next day, Misty arrived early. Cat was there too, dancing the steps of Swanilda. Oh no! Misty didn't know if she could compete with someone so talented. Soon, Miss Bradley arrived. Do you girls know which part you want to play in the recital? Misty held her breath as Cat answered, Coppelia. When the other dancers arrived, filling the studio with laughter, Misty and Cat stayed close, learning from each other. Cat's movements were sharp, while Misty's were soft. They tried to copy each other's style until they were giggling. At last, Miss Bradley was ready to audition the dancers to cast the parts that everyone would play in Coppelia. Nearly all hands shot toward the ceiling to audition for Coppelia. Misty was nervous for Cat, but when Cat began to move, Misty knew no one would be able to outdance her. When it was time to dance the role of Swanilda, Misty was paired with a grinning younger boy named Wolfie, who was portraying the role of Franz. Wolfie was on a mission to catch Misty's attention. The next day, Miss Bradley announced who would play what parts. Misty was excited when Cat got the part of Coppelia, and even happier when she won the part of Swanilda. The next few weeks were full of hard work for Misty. She had to perform both Swanilda and Coppelia when she tricked the toy maker into thinking she was the doll who had come to life. It was a lot to learn. Watching Cat dance her parts with ease made Misty try harder. They inspired each other. The night of the performance, Misty was so excited. She couldn't keep still. Staring up at the heavy red curtain, Misty felt a hand on her back. You okay? Cat asked. Misty nodded. I'm ready. And then the curtain was rising up and away. Bright spotlight spilled onto the stage, casting a spell of stillness that would only be broken by movement. In her pink tutu and braided bodice, Misty pranced onto the stage as Swanilda, with Wolfie playing the part of Franz. At last, lost in the dance, she felt the heat of the lights when she twirled and imagined she could see every face in the room, especially Mom's. Misty smiled, proud of what she, Cat, Wolfie, and all the other dancers had accomplished together. She couldn't wait to see what they would do next. There's our little bunhead crew. I really felt that it was important for me to share this story because I think that it's really important to accept and love yourself just the way you are. And I think that's something that Kat and Misty did in this story, was that they realized and accepted their beautiful, unique differences and embraced them and supported each other. But other than being inspired by the people around me who support me and help to shape and guide me and make me the person I am, I also feel inspired by writing. I think that it's really beautiful to be able to be inspired by your imagination, to be inspired by the people around you and the things that happen around you, and to express that in an artistic way and through an artistic outlet, as they do with dance and with writing. It's also been interesting in this time, which all of us have been inside and with our family and friends, and not being able to do the things that we're used to doing. But I think it's beautiful to be able to explore and to find other things that inspire you to be creative. And cooking has been one of those things for me. I really enjoy creating in the kitchen and creating combinations of different foods and making it into a meal that I put together from start to finish. And there's something so relaxing and also empowering to be able to challenge yourself in that way. And so I just want to thank you again and encourage all of you to be proud of who you are as individuals and embrace your beautiful uniqueness. So thank you so much for joining me for this PBS Kids Read Along. Happy
Okay. So we met Misty Copeland, and Bunheads is basically a ballerina. And so I hope you enjoyed that story. And so Miss Wellington's going to go ahead and show you what you're going to be doing in Seesaw. So in Seesaw, you are going to be, you're going to be reading all about Misty Copeland. And with a partner, you are going to read the story about Misty Copeland. And then on number 2, the slide 2, you are going to answer 6 questions about her. So number 1 says, what are some things Misty Copeland liked to do? Number 2, why is Misty Copeland famous? Take a look at the picture, guys. That's what I'm going to tell you. Take a look at the picture. 3, what is a challenge Misty Copeland had in her life? 4, where did Misty Copeland study dancing? So where did she go to school to learn how to dance? Number 5, where did Misty Copeland live in the United States? Put a star on the map. Put a star on the states in the map. So you do have a shapes button and you have a star. So we are going to go ahead and place that star where Misty Copeland live. So it says, where did Misty Copeland live in the United States? So you're going to put a star on the states in the map. Okay. And then number 3 says, what else would you like to know about Misty Copeland? Share your ideas with a friend. So in this one, you can ask her a question. If you were to meet her, what question would you ask her? And so you will put that on number 6. So make sure, guys, that you are, when you're finding the answers, use a highlighter to help you find the answers. And then it would be easier for you to find the answers that way. And then it'd be easier to answer it too. So make sure that you are using text evidence, which means to highlight answers. So I see that New York City is very important because it's capital letters, the American Ballet Theater. So these are some things that you might want to start highlighting before you start answering questions. I see some years right here and some states. So you might want to go ahead and practice doing that before you start answering the questions, because then you might have found the answer already and it'd be easier for you to answer. Okay, guys? So once you're done, you're going to press that green check mark. And then once you're done with this, if you have enough time, because the time, we have so much extra time, this would be your opportunity to go in and go to your activities and find which ones that you need to either redo or correct, or in progress that you haven't finished yet, because I guarantee you those are probably grades that we haven't done. So I know yesterday the internet went out, so you could probably go ahead and do Tuesday 2-9 R controlled vowel AR, and do that assignment. Since you didn't have access to the internet yesterday and the internet went out during our lesson, this is a way that you can complete this grade for me right after your social studies assignment. Okay, guys? I will see you tomorrow, and have a great day. Bye.